Are you tired of Big Brother eyeballing your internet activity? Are you concerned that the government agents are trying to plant kiddie porn in your computer? Are you feeling anxiety about your pissed off ex-girlfriend hiring hackers to plaster your O face all over the internet? Well, friends, next time you feel the urge, you can reach out and grab a bottle of lotion and your favorite superhero towel with confidence and thank the Virtual Shield VPN. You can secure your computer by smashing this link and signing up for Virtual Shield right now. And hell yes, I am proud to be a member of their affiliate program.
That's awesome, buddy. That's great.
The discipline of the silent treatment shows itself.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So next week I'm going to try to read that pluggy ad. But yes, VPNs are a great service, and you know, if you guys want to support what I do, hook a brother up. And that's all the plugging I'm going to do. Aside from this, if you're watching this on Steam and you're not sharing it, you're an asshole. You know, don't be an asshole, and you know, re-Steam this.
Yeah, see, we got a new person in the chat there, Sogard, or Sogrid, or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and pull him in. We got a new person in the chat there, Sogard, or Sogrid, or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and pull him in. We got a new person in the chat there, Sogard, or Sogrid, or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and pull him in.
Mute him for, whoops.
We got a new person in the chat there, Sogard, or Sogrid, or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and pull him in.
Mute him. Okay, I muted him for a second. Sogard, Sogrid, you got to mute the background there. You got to. Okay, I'll keep him muted for the moment. So, and you guys talked about the drama. Here's the thing. The breadth of field is too big. There's so many activists out there. There will always be drama between the various activists for personal politics or beliefs and all that stuff, or they just don't like each other. It's going to exist. There's no way of getting rid of that. It's something that you're going to have to accept. But the best thing to do, if you have a disagreement with someone, try to settle or try to have a common ground. If there's a certain issue that you both need to work on or help, talk about it behind the doors and work out where you guys can work on a middle ground on an important topic or situation and all that stuff. Anyway, let's do one more check to see if Sogrid is good.
Am I good?
Okay. Yes, I hear you, and we don't hear ourselves talking, which is the important thing on that part. So, go ahead.
Right, yeah.
Ask away, man.
I didn't even know what was going on. I just heard a loop.
Yeah, that's why I had to force mute you and hope that you fix that, or I was gonna just have to kick it back out and then maybe pull it back in later.
I got it pretty quick. It was just my settings were all messed up. So
okay, cool, man.
All right, I just wanted to just thank you guys for doing what you do. I really enjoy your your podcast type thing you got going on here. You guys have pretty much covered a lot that I've been looking into with down in Texas. So then everything it's just blown my mind. I just can't believe people like that exist. Because in Texas though, because I'm from Pennsylvania, so I don't really see too much open carry kind of things. It's sort of foreign, but I wouldn't expect that kind of thing from Texas. I don't know.
The whole thing with Almost Park is actually a weird thing considering the general mentality of Texas and firearms ownership.
Yeah, definitely. One question about this Discord. So when I jumped in, what that does, it just automatically takes you to this part where I can come in and talk. Is that what happens?
No. When you what happens is when you get in, you'll have to. Generally, it'll just link you to the public channels. This is actually specifically, this one is where I pulled you into when you I saw you logged into the voice chat for the public area. What I'm able to do is I'm able to drag you to this channel, so this way we can have a conversation, and without other people hopping in and then possibly interrupting what's going on. And so I can push people in and out. That's what this specific channel is. That's why it's named Livestream Voices, so people can come in and they'll sit in the public voice hangout area, and then I'll maybe ask them in the general text chat, hey, what's going on? You guys part of the show or whatever, if there's a lot of people, and then pull them in as when they're hanging out in the voice channel when they're actually already connected. And it looks like we've got people starting to figure it out, which is cool.
So I just wanted to say you're quite welcome, Sogrid. I do this from a sense of wanting to serve something greater than myself, and that's everyone's civil rights. So I feel compelled to do it. I would be, I do this on autopilot, the activism stuff. It's just like part of me at this point, but you're quite welcome.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I'm looking into starting. I noticed there's not much going on over here, on the East Coast. Or there's some people doing stuff, but you would think it. I mean, there's a lot of nonsense that's going on, but it just doesn't get the coverage that it needs to get.
Well, that's part of the reason why there's always a need for more activists in certain areas, and especially areas that are not covered yet or barely have any coverage. I was looking at said like Pennsylvania was like the 10th most corrupt state. I'm like, well, why is that? And then you just look further into it, and it has a lot to do with state police really not doing their jobs. So. Yeah, I mean that's part of the whole government accountability is to making sure they're doing the jobs right or doing their jobs at all. If they're being overzealous with their work, it's just as bad as when they're not doing their work.
And the good thing too is that we just had I think it was Fields versus the city of Philadelphia Court of Appeals about a First Amendment rights case.
Out of the Third Circuit, yeah, that just happened last year, and what's great is the fact that they cited Turner v. Driver within that decision, which just goes to show you that if you stick it out and you create the case law, there will be other case law that builds upon that.
Oh, it was beautiful because they didn't even. I mean, they sided completely with the people that were unjustly arrested. Oh, yeah. They didn't give the police didn't get their immunity or anything, so it was nice. And they actually, in this case law, they did state that basically anybody and everybody has the potential to be a journalist. So that's one thing I noticed in that one that was pretty cool, because they're saying, like they brought up the Rodney King thing where it's like, at the time that person wouldn't have known, okay, this is going to be newsworthy, right? You don't know until after the fact. Like you have no idea what's going to happen. You're just recording, so.
Yeah, and there's many things that people are just happen to be filming. There's some off the wall thing that happens nearby, and it becomes a viral video. Whether it's funny, it's hilarious, it's tragic, it's upsetting.
Here's a good example, guys. When Ramsey Orta filmed Freddie Gray getting, and I quote, "bent the way bodies don't bend," before the police threw him in the back of that paddy wagon and gave him a ride to his death. Ramsey Orta wasn't an activist. He was just a dude. After that, that event caused a lot of social upheaval out there. I believe it was Chicago, Illinois, where that happened. I'm pretty sure it was in Chicago. Or was it Philadelphia?
No, it was Baltimore.
New York. Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. Anywho, that caused a lot of social upheaval. There was a massive amount of, civil unrest. There was riots. There was a lot of attention drawn to issues of police brutality. Although all those cops got off on it and they weren't prosecuted, but you're right. At any given moment, what someone's filming with their cell phone could be thrust into the mainstream narrative. So we all are kind of the media at this point.
And the reason why that I think was brought up too is because the state was trying to argue that basically you only have a First Amendment right to film police or public officials if you have the intent to publish. So they argued, how would you know that you were going to publish it if nothing, like you don't know what's going to happen? Like it was an absolute idiotic argument, but I mean, they kind of ripped them in the ass. So.
Yeah, well, man, if you're interested, I can walk you through the process of founding a FTP chapter or a Film the Police chapter out where you live. And I'll shoot you my email through the. I'll put my email in the chat room, my stream on YouTube, and we'll talk. Right?
All right, that's awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, and as is, there's always needs for more activists, but I just want to emphasize also, before you hop in and start filming like crazy and all that stuff, just be aware of how it can negatively impact your life, and if you're still wanting to do it after learning all that stuff, just make the preparations for yourself and your family and all that stuff, because I mean, there's a lot of negative things that can happen with this that brings attention to you.
They will come after you if you become effective. They really will.
They have no life to ruin. So I mean,
and that's why actually it's quite interesting with the kinds of people that are already involved in it, the personality types. It's quite fascinating. The people that are involved in it.